All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the 22nd of October. Let's go and see what we got going on today. Today, we're still in the first week of the second grading period. Today is Thursday. All right. On this day in 1836, the ad interim government ended. What that means is an ad interim government is just a temporary government. It was put in place during the Texas Revolution so that there was still some type of leadership. They were not, there was nobody available at the time they didn't have time, rather, to create an actual government. So what they had to do is they had to quickly put somebody in place, and David G. Burnett was the president, and Lorenzo de Zavala was the vice president of this ad interim government. They were put there in charge while everybody else went out and fought the war. On this day in our history is the day that Sam Houston was inaugurated into presidency. Uh, we'll talk about that a little later on in the year, which is just around the corner, actually. All right, what is the difference between primary and secondary sources? All right, just going off of yesterday. Remember, primary is something that is created from a first person point of view. They actually saw the event take place. It's a picture of the actual event, or it is an interview of people that actually saw the event. Secondary sources are one time removed away from it. It is something that is done through research. It is not the actual event. It occurred after. Maybe it's a picture of the person that saw it, maybe, or a drawing of an event or something. But it is not from the actual event. What is the significance of looking at old documents? Looking at older documents gives us a window into how life occurred um, before we were ever even born. It helps us understand any of the trials or tribulations that they may have faced, and just how hard it was and difficult life was. Also, it'll different documents. It'll talk about the different laws, or if it's maybe the Constitution, of course. That's something that we hold dear to our country. It keeps everything in order, right? Something like that would keep everything in order. All right. All right, remember, if you have any questions, please let me know. Send me an email, send me a message through Schoology, Google Hangout, and let's go ahead into Schoology and let's see what we got going on. Today, you're going to be creating a come to Texas brochure. It's going to be an advertisement. You will have a rubric to follow. Okay, these are your rubrics. Okay, graphics. Okay, the graphics go well with text, and there is a good mix of text and graphics. All right. The brochure is exceptionally attractiveness to an organization. Make sure if you just follow the rules in it, the guides, it tells you what to write and where to write it. We're gonna look at that in a second. Okay, organization. Each section of the brochure has a clear beginning, middle, and end. In other words, full sentences, guys. Don't be choppy sentences. Make sure they're full sentences. I don't want to see just a one-word response. Okay. Capitalization and punctuation are correct throughout the brochure. Again, make sure that you're writing the correct sentences, the right sentence structure. All facts in the brochure are accurate. You're not just making stuff up. You're using the information that I give you. Take a look at the slides that are given with it. They give you all the facts necessary. And then all sections have well thought out titles. You must create a title for each section. Creativity. All right. Use your imagination. Okay, so let's take a look at these slides. So, instructions. You have been chosen by one of the impresarios we have been discussing in class. Austin, DeWitt, or De Leon, to advertise for their colony. Choose one to advertise for and use the slides provided to create an enticing, which means attractive or tempting, document that would Make the most stubborn person come to live in your boss's colony. All right. These resources here, we'll come back and look at these resources here in a second. But your brochure is going to look like this. Okay, you'll have a title. Okay, you have a title, and then insert an image of maybe the person, the impresario that you're working for. Okay, insert an image maybe like that for that here. Okay, description of which impresario you are working for and why they should buy from you. Right? Okay, and here in the center, you have title, description of how much land they will get. All right, how much land would they get by as individuals, and by occupation? And we'll just do individuals on this one. How much land are they going to be getting? All right, how much land would they get? Or let's undo that. Okay, and by occupation. I'll show you exactly what I mean by occupation here in a second. All right, persuasive description of the land and what it was used for. All right, talk about what did they use the land for. All right, how much are they going to be able to purchase their land for? Okay, think about the Texas land cost. You're going to see in the other slides the resources that I gave you. You know, how much is that Texas land worth? All right, describe the 3 colonization laws. Okay, there are 3 colonization laws. They must be something or become something in order to live in these colonies. And then who lives by? Who lives nearby? Tribes and other impresarios. Who is living in that region? Who lives in that area? All right. Use descriptions. Where do they live? Maybe north, northwest, east, south. All right. Use those terms. All right. Let's take a look at the resources. Okay, you see it does open in another tab rather. All right. So we have reasons for allowing American settlement. Okay, that could be used. Everything in this slide, everything in these slides can and should be used somewhere in your document, in your brochure. Okay. Here's the rules, of course, right? Here's some reasons to come. All right. Talks a little bit about Austin, where it's located. All right. Here's your requirements. It's a nice little comic. Go ahead and look through that comic. It talks about, how did you qualify, to become to be accepted by Austin. All right. Here's what every man who came to Austin, this is what every man would get. All right. It was not just for Austin, but it's any impresario as well. All right. So we have farmers and ranchers, people who raised cattle. This is how much extra they would get. If they were a farmer, they would get this much extra. If they were ranchers, they would get that much extra. Okay. Here's a little information about Green DeWitt, some information about Martin de Leon. Okay. Here are where they are located compared to each other. Okay. There's Austin's first colony right here. There's DeWitt. Down here, the yellow is de Leon. Okay. You have other impresarios around here that we didn't talk about. They're not really very important to us right now. Some of them will come up in the future. And here is a real advertisement in Connecticut. September 28th, 1828. This would be a primary resource, right? This is a primary resource. This came from the Connecticut Herald, which is in Connecticut, from this date, Sunday, September 28th, 1828, advertising for settlement in Texas. And it reads, settlement in Texas, Mexico. The Texas soil is by planters considered equal to any soil in the world for the cultivation of cotton and sugar. The prairies are covered with grass, affording an inexhaustible range for cattle and horses. The population is from 3,000 to 4,000 inhabitants, the majority of whom are agriculturalists, which Others are encouraged in raising cattle, which is exceedingly profitable, meaning that they can make money off of it. Justice is administered in a prompt and summary manner, therefore making crime rare. The climate is remarkably healthy and good water abundant, meaning there's a lot. Okay, guys, use that. Use the words, use the descriptions to help you in your brochure. Use the descriptions from that in your brochure, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if there are no other questions, then if you have any questions, send them to me, please. Reach out to me. Let me know what's going on, and I'll help you as best I can. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day, and I will see you mañana.